In the cluttered landscape that makes up the city, there is an oasis, and we call it public art. The MTA's Arts for Transit's latest program here at the Park Place station involves the installation of over 300 thought-provoking eyes and a central mosaic, and they call it Oculus.
We really were interested in creating a sense of animation, a dialogue between the people who are moving through the station and those, and the infrastructure of the station itself. Making people really think about where they are and about being human and being alive at the moment and how they were interacting with this environment. Because most people, I think in a lot of times in stations, they move through without necessarily thinking or really wanting to think about where they are at. They're trying to get from one place to another.
We wandered through the station again and again and again and again, back and forth and underground. We looked at the maps. We tried to figure out how all 5 trains could be at one place that's called one station, but it's not really one station, it's 3 stations. It's the ACE, the 2 and the 3, it's the World Trade, it's Park Place, and it's Chambers Street. It's one station. We're like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? This place is a labyrinth. Okay, well let's try and make a work that could be everywhere, that could call the station a station, and then maybe let's make a heart. Let's put a heart in the middle of the station. And so in fact, the very large mosaic, which is composed of more than 1,800,000 tesserae, tesserae is the Greek word for 4, every single one of those 1,800,000 is cut on 4 sides by hand. I mean, so it's a huge amount of labor that has been involved in this entire project. I mean, this work is a labor of love, absolutely.
And to make it all happen, 5 years of planning and thought came together in the city of Rome.
We were extraordinarily lucky. That's why this whole project is mosaic. We were living in Rome. We won the Rome Prize from the American Academy in Rome, and we were living in Rome for 14 months. And we had made many proposals to the MTA. They were all 3-dimensional until we were completely exhausted. We got to Rome and we said, my God, this is a privilege to be here. Look at these incredible mosaics. They've lasted for hundreds of thousands of years, mosaics from ancient world. You know, let's do something that there's no question that it'll be around for the rest of time.
The central work is located in the Park Place station under Church Street. It emanates from an eye concept surrounded by a map of the world superimposed over a map of the city of New York. Oculus was created in collaboration with Italian mosaicist Rinaldo Piras.
This project is a good idea for marker the city of New York like city multi-ethnica.
Art is in the eye of the beholder. But what do the artists see? And what does it all mean?
We wanted to take photographs of New Yorkers, translate them into mosaics, and then install them into the walls of the station, and then make a very large elliptical area in the station, which is the sort of the wellspring from which they all come.
What message would you like this to bring home to people?
I think not so much a message, but the sense of an interaction, the ability for people to really look into eyes. I mean, the eyes are mosaic, they're large, they're looking at you, and it's not something you normally do in the subway. You don't necessarily look into people's eyes, or at least strangers' eyes, especially, and then of course the station doesn't usually have eyes to look into. So this is like an introduction, like maybe something to promote and provoke the thought of really looking at the place that we're all in. And also then, by extension, looking at other people's eyes, because we're all here together.
I think whoever designed it had a lot of intent behind it, and I think people had to interpret for themselves what it was. If it's a picture, it's easy to see what it is. But when it's eyes and they're different types at different intervals, it makes you have to concentrate and think on meanings and maybe a little bit more about what life is about.
So come see for yourself the Roman-inspired mosaics here at the Park Place station. For Transit News, I'm Andy O'Rourke.